never really much of a painter. I was always more a graphic person. In Detroit, I worked pretty much exclusively in black and white. You know, I drew everything, you know, and when I taught at Macomb, taught basic drawing and I taught life drawing, and then I was given a design, color and design class, which, you know, I thought, I don't know anything about this, and it turned out that I ended up really liking it. As a matter of fact, I loved it, you know, and I got interested in color. When I started with pastel, I needed subject matter, and that's when I started doing still lifes. I would work with a color scheme, which I would work out. I did with these, I would go from light to dark. And the background colors would be the value scale. So I would go from light to dark with the same object. I don't think of these as still lifes anymore. I think of them as color schemes. It works. I can't draw from imagination. I need a setup. And now my wife can draw from imagination. I'm just astounded how she can do that.
I was raised out in the country, very far in the country, and I've drawn all my life. Father was a pilot, and in those days when you flew a plane, I'm looking for something that's the right size, you had to do all the checking of the plane on a manual card before you took off that was about this size. And so he brought me all the old ones from planes that weren't in use anymore, and this is my optimum size for drawing it. Do it this way or this way, because I learned like the first 10 years of my life, this was the size I drew. So I tend to work small, and I think that's the reason I do. So I just am very comfortable in that little shape. And then I have always wanted to be an artist. I have never wanted to be anything else. I do science illustration. Did you know that? I don't know if you did. Okay, so I did that, which was a nice offshoot of just liking to draw animals. So now I draw them, but I draw them very, very accurately for scientists. I really love black and white. I love that dark black, shiny white, and the lines running around in between, and that's that. So I do a lot of pen and ink. I have to be strictly objective if I'm doing a job for science. If I'm doing a job for anything else, then I can do anything I want, and I know I can do anything I want. But to me, there was always a story. I love telling stories with pictures. I'm just better first time. It's fresher, it's more honest. I would go in an hour before the museum was open. I could take my coffee in because I had a badge. I would plunk myself in front of anything and just draw for the hour and a half before the public came with my coffee. And I just thought, you know, this is heaven. A person could do this for 100 years and be a really lucky human being. We have never, ever had a moment where the art was an issue of division.
I've always looked on it as an advantage,
yeah,
actually.
I agree.
Her work never influenced my work.
Your work has influenced mine. I thought about compositions a little, that subtlety of an idea to differentiate one from another, and I've done that. I put a line or a space that's just subtly different.
I feel tremendously complimented, but
no, it's all right. You'll get over it.
Her work is so detailed, you know, the way she draws, and I just couldn't do it. In that sense, it didn't influence me.
He likes my sketch. He covets my sketchbook. That's right.
I think her best work is in her sketchbook.
It often is, because of what we were saying before. It's not the second time I did it. It's always the first time I did it.
I love her sketchbooks.
Yeah, so I
Randy, to me, he painted the same bottles over and over
and
again.
that's a really interesting way to think of it, that he just brought the world into his studio.
Right.
I like that. I think that's a really, what's a great idea. And I suppose I like it because that's what I'm supposedly doing. I mean, I think I'm doing that. But I like that. Why wouldn't you want the world to be around you in your studio? It's a great thing.